As if nothing is wrong in the world, our beloved TV personality always manages to make everyone laugh and grin. However, on occasion, an event occurs that causes people to pause and contemplate. Behind the scenes, we get a glimpse of the personal battles that are taking place. The revelation of Mark Canulis's unforeseen health problem shocked viewers of Live with Kelly and Mark, and Kelly Ripa's reaction was even more shocking. What started out as a lighthearted piece turned into a really moving ordeal as Kelly battled to suppress her tears. Viewers could see this was about more than just TV. It was honest, heartfelt, and very relatable. But what actually happened is the reason behind Kelly's strong reaction. This is just the beginning. Stay tuned for more. Embrace the unexpected turns, heartfelt moments, and surprises that lie ahead. Looking back at the tie that has defined Kelly and Mark's relationship for over 20 years is the only way to understand the depth of her emotions. All My Children viewers have been enthralled by their romance from the moment they first met. A romance that would last a lifetime bloomed from a simple wish. Their relationship has been full of highs and lows, like any other. But there's no denying the chemistry between them, which suggests a bond that extends well beyond the time spent together on film. In the difficult world of celebrity, they have been an inspiration with their mutually emotional moments and brilliant humor. However, it is common knowledge that when faced with unforeseen challenges, even the most resilient relationships can be put to the test. Kelly and Mark's resilience as people and as a public-facing spouse were tested by an unexpected health issue. Why was Mark behaving in such an unusual way? Were they jeopardizing the life they had built together? Keep looking. The horrific reality of this incident is going to be revealed soon. To understand the gravity of Kelly's reaction, it helps to look at this from a personal perspective. Mark Canulis's endearing cinematic persona has long been a source of praise. A distinction, however, has been seen by loyal viewers in recent weeks. Speculation started to circulate when Mark was not on the show. Did something more substantial happen, or was it merely a brief break? As the seemingly ordinary live show came to a close, Kelly's look revealed the arrival of a new world. There was no scheduling difficulty that caused Mark to miss. An emergency in the family's health put everyone on edge. An unidentified health issue was at the core of the matter. It was clear that things were serious since Kelly was visibly anxious on stage. There was a serious private conflict going on. The mental and emotional toll that Mark's illness was having on him and his partner was becoming increasingly apparent to the audience. However, what exactly was this health problem? In the shadows, what was going on? Was anyone aware that Mark's health wasn't what it seemed? The answers may surprise you. Keep reading to find out how their adventure took an unexpected turn. It was easy to see how vulnerable Kelly Ripa felt whenever she paused to collect herself while broadcasting live. A lot of people who had been following her career thought this was unusual. Kelly, who was normally the epitome of professionalism, appeared rattled. There was an honest expression of her feelings rather than her usual vivacious personality. The world demands a polished mask so often. Kelly's honesty was shocking and relevant. It served as a sobering reminder that hardships in life have the power to weaken even the strongest among us. The fact that Kelly was grieving over more than simply her husband's possible decline added further weight to this moment. Their once carefree life together had been shattered, and she was mourning its loss. All of a sudden, the biggest challenge to their alliance had materialized. Something unexpected happened, though, while this pain was going on. Join us as we explore this pivotal phase in their lives further. How this narrative unfolds will astound you. At the same moment when hope seemed lost, a defining moment arrived. Mark decided to share his health difficulties with the public because he isn't the kind to keep secrets. His bravery was on display when he spoke frankly with his followers on social media about what had happened to him. Mark wasn't merely looking for understanding when he chose to go public with his health difficulties. All curiosity and theories were put to rest shortly after the unexpected social media post. There was more to it than that. It served as an open letter, an account of survival, and a declaration of love, compact and all-inclusive. The featured photo was a striking change from his typical staged appearance. It wasn't from a fancy party or a tropical getaway. A single, low-light photograph of him holding Kelly's hand was all that was shown. The hazy backdrop suggested a hospital room with an antiseptic white color scheme. "I've never felt this vulnerable, but I've always believed in honesty," it said. "A few weeks ago, I was facing something far more serious than just being tired." When Mark described an unusual neurological experience, it shocked many. Just after a transmission, he had a terrifying episode of extreme vertigo and clouded eyesight. Despite Kelly's astute observations, he had disregarded her cries that he visit a doctor, he said. He explained that a pre-existing disease was discovered during diagnostic examinations. This ailment, if unchecked, could have caused catastrophic, irreparable damage. The connotation was horrifying, but he refrained from naming the particular illness, instead referring to it as a quest for understanding. The days spent in hospital hallways, waiting for answers, were described in detail. Although he was extremely appreciative of the medical staff that saved his life, his wife received his highest accolades. Nobody should ever have to see their rock, the one they rely on no matter what, disappear. Take a look at them. As if frozen in terror, he put it in writing. Kelly stood by my side. I could always count on her unwavering support. She had to put on a strong face for the cameras even though she was terrified on the inside. I owe a great deal of my recuperation to her. Because of her, I am here. In under an hour, it had become a potent post. There was an overwhelming display of solidarity from friends, family, and fellow celebrities, and the video amassed millions of views. As the final piece of the phi puzzle fit into position, clarity was achieved. There was an instant change in how the public saw Kelly's on-air meltdown. There was more than a fleeting moment of grief. It was the unbridled terror of a lady who narrowly avoided losing her soulmate. They handled the situation behind closed doors. But now the world was seeing the emotional toll it took. The quiver in her voice, as she tried to hold back her emotions while staring at his vacant chair, now made complete sense. Her co-host wasn't the only one she was missing. She had an already hectic schedule, and the prospect of her husband's death added an intolerable level of stress. The entertainment industry was rocked by the news. The couple's public image of carefree joy was shattered, revealing a darker, more serious side, a picture of strength, even though early reports suggested only small problems. New inquiries, however, emerged once the first shock had worn off. This mysterious disease, what was it? What gives with all the secrecy? Above everything else, did Mark really emerge victorious? What followed was proof of their incredible cooperation. Mark admitted that his road to rehabilitation was not an easy one. More than just medication was involved. In order to cope with the consequences of his neurological scar, he modified his lifestyle drastically and engaged in rigorous physical treatment. Someone with renown for limitless vitality had a new, more difficult task ahead of him. Kelly never left his side during the entire process. Her obligations as co-host and caretaker were smoothly blended as she juggled leading the morning show and spending her afternoons aiding his rehabilitation. Viewers began to pick up on a minor shift in her demeanor when she was on camera. Viewers were moved to tears when Kelly Ripa recently told the heartbreaking story of her husband Mark Consoulis's unexpected medical crisis. A lot of people took notice of her sincere emotional reaction. Fans have always adored one of TV's most beloved couples. But this most recent development has revealed a hidden side to their relationship that no one had seen before. As she informed the live audience of Mark's unexpected health concern, her emotions were evident and real. As she described the fear and uncertainty they endured during Mark's medical emergency, Kelly, who is always so energetic, seemed obviously distressed. In a touching and intimate moment, she thanked her followers and friends for their constant encouragement and for his continued recovery. The crowd was especially moved by Kelly's willingness to show their vulnerabilities. Even well-known people like her experienced periods of profound vulnerability, as she demonstrated once again with her emotions on full display.